Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Unity Clear Lake Daily Message. If you've been following me, as you know, I've been doing the lessons from Charles Fillmore's book, Keep a True Lent. At the back of that book, he has a lesson for every day, so here we are on the 33rd day of Lent. Today's talk title is The Mount of Transfiguration. Now, transfiguration is the time when our bodies and minds are changed into the light with a capital L. Transfiguration is always preceded by a change of mind, a change of thought. In transfiguration, our thoughts, our beliefs are lifted from the material realm into the spiritual realm. Going up the mountain to pray means an elevation of thought and desires from the material to the spiritual viewpoint. When the mind is raised through prayer, the higher level of mental energy causes a stimulation of the light to be triggered in all parts of our bodies, and especially in our heads, in the crown chakra area. But our physical bodies also begin to radiate this light, and this light triggers each cell to transform back to its original state of being, which is health. If we do this often enough, our bodies even begin to glow, which is just this radiant light shining through. Jesus gave his disciples a glimpse of this body of light when he was transfigured before them. And in the Bible it says, his face did shine as the sun, and his garments became white as the light. Jesus was a very advanced soul, highly advanced in spiritual consciousness, and so was developed to a much larger degree than anyone else at the time. But we all have that body of light, and its development in proportion to our spiritual desires. Jesus didn't go down into the thoughts of disease and sorrow, suffering in the body, but by the intensity of his spiritual devotions, he was able to transform every cell into its innate divine light and power. When John was in his deep devotional time, Jesus appeared to him, and John writes, his eyes were like a flame of fire, and his feet like unto burnished brass. Jesus lives today in that body of this much high glorified light, if you say it's, as Fillmore says, in that kingdom around us that interpenetrates the earth and all of the environment here. Jesus gave us the one and only way to redemption in these bodies, which is to incorporate the great I am into our consciousness. When you use the words I am, you are stating to the universal force, this is what I want in my life. That is why over the past few days, I've been stressing to watch your thoughts and watch your words. If we were to say, I am the resurrection and the life, and make that the truth of our being, we all might be amazed as to how our lives could change. If you want to truly know that you are the master over all the life forces of your being, then you would constantly be creating thoughts of health, abundance, love, joy, and more. We can't look outside of ourselves for help. Because we can never find it in the outside world. God's power that you have inside of you is inside of you. And you must incorporate that into your state of consciousness. We all have to understand how this state of consciousness works and then to work with it. And how it works, it's through thought. It's through thought that you work the truth of your being into every part of your body, which you could call your personal temple. Now, this isn't difficult, but it does require constant attention and persistence. The body requires a spiritual awakening because it carries on a line of action beyond the realm of conscious thinking. So, Fillmore says, if I live in a temple that belongs to me, I should know what's going on in it. So, the lifting up of the life forces within our body and the resurrection have exactly the same significance. The person who really understands the truth of their being is actually being raised, lifted up in consciousness, and resurrected every moment out of their old subconscious negative thought patterns and into the one positive reality. Fillmore calls the body the fruit of the mind, and he asks us to not talk about the body as being in a low vibration or as being sick, hurt, pain-filled. He writes, take the body into consideration as the fruit of thought and affirm that it is pure, holy, and undefiled. The life force within each of us is a spiritual energy. It's deeper and finer than electricity running through our walls. This life force is composed of ideas, and we turn on this current of energy to really move through our bodies and our beings by our conscious contact with it. The higher life, higher spiritual life, is actually a higher state of mind, a higher state of consciousness. It exists as the soul of God. And you begin to really know it when you really realize the statement, I am the son or daughter of God. When you realize that statement, you bring this higher life, this higher consciousness into manifestation by acting from that divine idea, acting as if you truly are the son or daughter of God. The higher consciousness of perfect life places you in the stream of life with the capital L that is constantly there, constantly assisting you. But it's only through the repeated and constant affirmations in your thoughts of the one and only pure substance of God everywhere present that we actually can change the electromagnetic life currents that flow through the body until every cell awakens to its perfect self. Jesus is our way shower. And we can use an affirmation similar to what Charles Fillmore wrote. My mind and body are radiant with the life of spirit, and I am triumphant, glorious, and splendid in all ways. So to have this transfiguration in our body into the greater perfection of health and well-being, we have to watch our thoughts and move them from the unconscious thoughts of illness, pain, and suffering. We have to move them so we are consciously and constantly affirming the pure God force energy in us, as perfect health in every cell of our bodies. We have to see and feel our bodies being as healthy as we desire them to be, no matter what's on the outside. But this isn't just for our bodies. It also goes for our relationships, our finances, our jobs, our homes, absolutely everything in our lives. Joe Dispenza is one of those who have been doing many years of testing to find out what happens to our bodies when we meditate for a longer period of time. He has found that when we are in deep meditation, our minds actually radiate at a much higher frequency, and that frequency then actually penetrates into every cell in the body and shifts the vibration of the cells. When that happens, the cells actually begin to heal. So we all have the ability to transform these bodies to greater health. We all have the ability to transform our lives in every aspect into a greater way of being. So today I'm going to invite you to only think, speak, and visualize your body, your finances, your personal life being whole, complete, and perfect in every way. I invite us all to begin the process of transforming our minds into the mind of God, where only love and light reside. I stated earlier that Charles Fillmore wrote that in Transfiguration, our thoughts, our beliefs are lifted from the material to the spiritual. So we are being called to lift our thoughts from what we see around us as truth to the real spiritual truth of our being, and that's truth with a capital T. So once again, I leave you with the thought that there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in our lives: God, the good, omnipotent. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.